Very good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining our class. I think this class is solely for IIUM only. I did not share the class elsewhere. So we got purely only IIUM students attending today. Thanks for joining us today. So we are in our third class. So please let me know in the chat box if you guys can see my slides clearly, my video, and can hear me clearly or not. Please let me know in the chat box. Okay, all good. Very good. Okay, fantastic. All right. So today we are okay. The class number 3 is supposed to be on systematic review. Okay, but the request of most of the graduate schools from RU, okay, research universities, I have came up with another topic on AI usage for thesis and proposal. Okay, because of the sort of the failure rates that they are facing. Okay, so especially certain RUs, they used to have only they track their failure rates quite closely. Okay, especially proposal defense and Viva. Their failure rate was at about 3 to 5% only before this. But since this year, okay, since this year with very heavy usage of AI, the failure rate's already going up to 25 to 32% or so, roughly around that range lah. That's what I'm hearing from most graduate schools. So, on that perspectives, they requested me to come up with a class to explain why the failures are happening, because this is their KPI. They cannot have too many failures. Okay, it'll look very bad on them. So I've also extended these classes to all other universities as well. Right. So if our class number 4, if I have time, if time permits, I will look into systematic review. Okay, because I'm already full until first to second week of December as of now. So if I have time, I'll look into fourth class on systematic review, or I'll be sharing classes from other universities, which you guys may join later. All right. So today we are going to look at chapter 1 to 5 thesis templates to beat defense Viva, AI assisted literature review versus examiner's feedback. This is the very important part today. You guys going to look into how examiners are perceiving the outcome of purely AI written thesis and proposal. Whether it's ethical or unethical, I think that is between the students and the university. But today, purely, I'm going to talk about the technical part, where students are falling short, why they cannot sustain through defense or Viva. So that's what we're going to focus on today. All right. So skip this. I think most of you know me, so we can skip that also. So I'm coming from Proofreading by UK PhD. We are headquartered in Cyberjaya. All right. So for today's class, whatever I'm teaching today will be very useful in terms of a thesis, publication, definitely your examiners, I mean your defense or Viva, how to respond or how to defend your research. Thesis to journal conversion, I think will be quite helpful also. And most importantly, Turnitin AI, where we are in terms of Turnitin AI. Okay, what is the latest and recent updates and so on. Okay, so if you have any questions as I go, please feel free to ask in the chat box. Okay, don't feel shy. And also certain questions I might answer as I go, or some I might answer at the end. So don't worry, if you ask question I did not answer. And then keep your mics muted at all times. That's the most important, so it doesn't interrupt the class. Okay, so for those who are, can I know how many of you joining my class for the very first time? Never joined before. This is the first time. Let me know in the chat box. Or you can use thumbs up and whatever that is convenient for you guys. Okay, first time, So you got quite a number of first timers. So for all the first timers, okay, so you can find a lot of free classes, okay, on my YouTube channel. Okay, so if you go, this is the link to my YouTube channel, right? So under this live tab, you can find a lot of recorded classes. Okay, all these recorded classes at your convenience, whenever you want, you can go and watch. You got literature review class, you got high impact publishing class, structuring of chapters 1 to 5 class, problem statement, background writing, introduction writing, and so on, graduate before time tips, and so on and so forth. There are a number of classes here and number of videos here as well. Okay, number of videos here are quite long videos, so you can watch whenever you want to learn, lah, right? Learn for free. Okay, so that is the YouTube link I've shared already. Now, more than ever, okay, these templates are becoming more and more useful, more and more important. This is what I've realized because from the prompting and the answering and the literature review that it's giving, okay, on top of its fake information, fake content, fake citation, fake DOI, all these, a lot of fake factors and a lot of recycled ideas. That means not really new ideas, just recycling lah. Okay. Yeah, you can see the recording version, Maria. It will be there. Okay, so yeah, having said that, sorry, I forgot to mention that also. For those who missed out my first and second classes this year, you can watch the first class here. This is the first class. This is the second class. Okay, this is the first. This is the second. And today we are running third class. All right. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, so coming back to no worries. Coming back to templates, structurally, some of the write-up or most of the write-up looks very bachelor level kind of writing. So it's not really sufficient. Some statements don't even have citations. I mean, coming from AI. So, and a lot of it can be fake, can be, if you open up the paper, the content won't even be there. So we have seen a lot of cases like that. So therefore, I have came up with this thesis, and I'm sorry, these templates. I'm also created new. I'm also continuously creating new ones whenever I find time, so that you guys will know fundamentally this is how you write a PhD thesis, not what is being given by AI and so on. AI is a very good guideline. It's a very good assistant, but in reality, what is required? So this will give you that particular guideline, right? So this is full thesis table of content across different methodologies. Table of content for chapter 2. Okay, free thesis templates. Okay, so free thesis templates means this particular template will tell you where you can download free thesis samples from so that you can follow. You can look at it and know, okay, this is how I'm supposed to write. And I would always advise to avoid downloading thesis from 23 and 24. Okay, because most of it at that point in time, the hallucination, the fake information were at the peak. Okay, like really, really bad and too much of hallucination. So whoever managed to graduate, don't have Turnitin AI also, so managed to graduate, those are not a very good thesis for you to look at. Look at thesis prior to 2022. There you can find very, very good example, hardcore research-driven thesis that will tell you exactly what is required. Okay, so you cannot compare yourself with bachelors. Bachelors, they can just prompt, copy and paste and go. If you guys also can do the same, then there is no difference between what you guys doing and what bachelor degree is doing. So you should know that difference of complexity, right? So then we got chapter 3 template here, pilot study process. Chapter 1, we have all these templates from introduction, background, 2 or 3 different problem statement templates and so on. Chapter 2, we have this one we used in the first class, summary template. Then I think this will be looked into today if you have enough time. All right. Then this will be looked into today, PD Viva, okay, preparing for examination. And then systematic review templates. Okay, so we'll touch base slightly on systematic review today, like a bit on that. Okay, so all of this, and also we have all this chapter 4 template, what kind of analysis you need to do, all right, what kind of analysis you can do as part of a chapter 4 quantitative. And then full chapters 1 to 5 templates. Okay, what is chapter 1 to 5 templates are like the satellite view. Okay, like this is the overall structure required. Then all these templates at the back are more detailed ones. So we got satellite, and then we got more detailed. We got more zoomed in templates. All right, so all of this can be downloaded from my Telegram group for free. All right, for free. So this is the link to my to my Telegram. Okay, that is the link. Okay, so if you click that link, this will open up this particular page. You can click subscribe button here first. You can subscribe to your email here. So any latest updates will be announced to you guys, or any latest classes and so on. And then down here, you can go to my TikTok and all other platforms that I have. Most importantly, you can join the Telegram group. Okay, Telegram group is specifically made for templates. Okay, we got more than 20,000 members so far. All right. So if you go here, Telegram, if you open up, you can search for templates and you can find, no, these are classes. You can find all these templates here. So these are all the free templates. Okay, we got more. We got Viva question templates. We got abstract template. We got more templates here. And then we have qualitative study template. There is also one other write-up. This is literature matrix template. And then just summary, background, introduction. Never mind, I'll repost later. I cannot find the one that we had all the other links. Okay. So I will try to find it later. I will try to repost it. Okay. So, but you can find it mostly here. Okay. It's a bit scattered. Somehow or other, I cannot pull them all together, but I've tagged all of them. So just a bit of work for you guys lah. Okay. So name of Telegram is Dr. Tawa's Academia. It's right here. Okay. That is the name of the Telegram. So I'll leave you guys to go and download. So you can download all these from here. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay, then we have SLR templates as well. These are all systematic review templates. Okay, systematic review papers, sample papers. You got Prisma, even Prisma flowchart we have here. You can download and use it. Okay, you can redraw the Word version. We have given the Word version here. Okay, so that's that. So I'll leave it to you guys to go and explore. Okay. All right. So I believe all of you managed to join ready. Okay. If you cannot join, let me know. Later, I'll share the link again. Okay. Whatever it is, just keep this link intact. This link will take you and provide you all the resources required for you to finish your PhD. All right. So that's that. So today we're going to cover 4 different areas. We're going to look at how a student failed his proposal defense, okay, by using ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and if I'm not mistaken, Site AI. Site AI or SciSpace? There's just too many names, too many tools, right? So these 3 were primarily used, okay, so we can look at it. Then thesis templates, ChatGPT 5 reliability tests, preparing for defense Viva. So this last segment is the most important segment which from here will take you through and you will understand better once you reach here. If I go straight to this, you won't be able to understand or appreciate the value. But once I go through all this, you would understand this segment better. So stay until the end. All right. So before we go to the negative part, let's look at a very, very positive part of a chapter 2. Okay. So this is a chapter 2 sample, okay, from a thesis that we coached some time ago. Okay, why I take a thesis that we coached some time ago, I think about now 3 to 4 years already, this particular thesis, because this is by far the best outcome, okay, of thesis that we have coached before. So this is the topic: conservative agriculture practices adoption and impact on the sustainable farm performance for rice farmers in Pakistan. Okay, this is the whole entire topic. You unfortunately cannot find this Facebook video anymore. They have removed all of it. They've cleaned up all my recorded videos. But I think you might be able to find it on YouTube. I don't know if it's there or not. Okay, but anyway. So why I say this is the best? This is Dr. Naeem's thesis. He's a senior lecturer in Oman now. Okay. He's a senior lecturer in Oman now. Finished his PhD, graduated before time, 2 years and 7 months with 17 publications. He had 17 publications from this single thesis, 12 Web of Science and 5 Scopus. He had more Web of Science than Scopus. Okay. He did many review papers, many empirical papers, and so on and so forth. All right. So this is by far a very, very good sample to look at. So I am going to teach you, okay, how to structure your chapter 2 with respect to your title. Okay, there's a lot of disconnection between a chapter 2. The title will say something else from all the recent examples I'm looking at. Title will say something else. Chapter 2 is saying something else. we don't even know how to connect it back. Okay, a lot of students will come back and tell us, I've used AI, got rejected. My supervisor say, cannot use this anymore, redo everything. And I'll look at all the comments, quite nasty comments. Then they'll say, teach me how to content edit this. It'll be very, very difficult. The content is something else altogether, but the title is totally different. And there's so much hallucination. So that's why I want to show you this first, so you'll appreciate what I mean before I show the next ones, okay? So, all right. So if you look at this, main topic here is the solution here that they want to investigate: conservative agriculture practices adoption, okay, and impact on the sustainable farm performance. These are the two elements that they want to see. One moment, Kelvin, increase the aircon. Yeah, increase. Quite warm. Okay. All right. So these are the two elements specifically for rice farmers in Pakistan. So that's the whole study about. So if you look at the structure of the chapter 2, starting from here, first thing, definitely introduction, okay, which is very obvious. Introduction is something that will connect back to the reality of the thesis, okay, like why we are doing this in the first place, like, what you can find this chapter, those kind of things, which is very straightforward lah. But right after that, if you look at 2.2, conservative agriculture, so you can see it goes straight to conservative agriculture. Okay, that's the first starting point, from left to right, left to right. So first thing is conservative agriculture. So that's the first thing. All right. So this particular topic covered in 2.2. Then introduced conservative agriculture practices adoption, which covers this segment. Okay, so this is covered first, this is covered next, right? So that is the next segment. Then process studies for your intention adopt, okay, which is also related to the adoption, right? So this is also connected here eventually. So 1, 2, sorry, 2, this is also 2, still adoption, Okay. Next part, factors that influence the adoption of CAPs. That means conservative agriculture practices. These are all the performance factors, the impact and the performance factors. You can see in terms of performance, they're measuring different items here. Different literature had been uncovered, okay, or unveiled here. All right, so farm level factors, biophysical factors, economic factors, demographic level, informational factors, all these are performance factors that have been studied here for the second part of the thesis title. All right, so this whole thing covers from impact on the sustainable farm performance. So this is 3. Okay, this is 3. So 3 segments covered already. From the title itself, you read the title, an examiner looking at the title, they look at the chapter 2, they can understand it's following very well. So they can still connect back. Because as an examiner, when they're reading through your thesis, 200, 300 pages, 400 pages, and so on, you must always give them a clarity, okay? Because otherwise they'll get lost. After certain pages, they'll be like, why am I reading this? Why am I looking at this part? So that's why it's very, very important you anchor it back to your title. Very, very important to have that. Okay. If you don't have that anchoring element, they won't know, oh, okay, this is conservative agriculture, which is part of the title. This is adoption, which is part of the title. So they can follow through the whole structure. This is what I call structure. Okay, this is the PhD level structure. In bachelor's, I think you can write whatever you want nowadays. Okay, that's why students can just prom, and then finish their whole bachelor's and move on. I've seen many students already in my life. We hired some of them, which tend to be very, very useless, unfortunately. But at PhD level, I think it's a bit difficult to do that. You won't see the final success story by doing that. You won't really see a very good success story out of it. You will see, we are seeing more failures than ever. Okay, so that's why I'm emphasizing this first. So these are all the connectivities. Okay, let me ask you guys something. If you scan this through, this whole thing, if you scan this through, you cannot see anyone talking. Cannot see a specific topic on rice farmers. Okay, you cannot see a specific topic on Pakistan. These two, okay, you cannot really view it here. There's nothing on that. Why? Why do you guys think so? Why there's nothing on that? Can anyone give me opinion in the chat box? Gap. No need early on. It's mentioned under intro. Focus to the gap. Okay. It's the gap. Too specific. All right. Come on, everyone, try. Tell me, what do you guys think? It's okay if you're wrong, or maybe you're not even wrong. You never know. So try. The rest, we got 143, 144 students today. Give it a try, unless you're not focusing. So my advice is listen to me very clearly. Otherwise, what's the point being here, right? So tell me why, to the ones that already answered, thank you very much. Why rice farmers and Pakistan are not here? Oh, Naja is here today also. Okay. Naja. Okay, so to have a big view first, already mentioned chapter 1, embedded in chapter 1, we'll keep in discussion chapters. It's included in chapter 1, methodology for the thesis, which is true in a way, methodology, because sampling part is important to say who are your respondents. Okay, that is true in a way. Context is to be put later. Okay. Okay. Now, for those who said this is gap, this is the focus area, don't need to talk about it now, talk about this later, put yourself in examiner's position. Okay, you are coming now, you are the examiners. You guys are all potentially can be future PhD examiners after your PhD lah. All right, you join eventually one day you become examiners. This is given a thesis to you. Okay, the topic is conservative agriculture practices adoption, impact on the sustainable farm performance for rice farmers in Pakistan. Okay, the whole reason, the whole reason that you guys, that the PhD student is doing research, this whole thing, they are doing it for whom? This whole topic, why we are doing this? This is to benefit whom? This benefit whom from which area? What is the answer? It is definitely to benefit the rice farmers in Pakistan. Absolutely. So this whole study is done about rice farmers in Pakistan. How can you talk about rice farmers in Pakistan later? Cannot. I mean, you can talk about it later again, lah, but you cannot only talk about it later. You should talk about the much, 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 much earlier. Okay, because they are the motivation. They are the they are the reason the thesis is there. So if I remove this, okay, if I remove this, there is no reason to do this thesis. Why are you doing this? Examiner will ask you why. Why are you doing conservative agriculture practice adoption, impact sustainable farm performance for whom? For sustainability, impact farm performance for whom? Why? So that's why we don't talk about this entirely in chapter 2. We talk about it in chapter 1. In chapter 1, when your examiners, you see, you are doing this thesis, definitely for your supervisors to read, but more than that, for your examiners to read. So when they come into the entry door, they opening up your chapter 1. They won't read the abstract first. If they read, nothing wrong lah. But usually they won't read because they don't want to get the influence. They will read the chapters first. Okay, that's our style lah normally. Open chapter 1. Okay, the first thing we should talk about is how are things in Pakistan. Okay, in terms of farming, all these things. That should form your introduction and background first. Okay, how difficult is rice farmers in terms of how they're sustaining, what is going on, how is the practicing now, how difficult it is the life of rice farmers in Pakistan particularly, which segment of this they're getting affected, demographically, how much they're losing, all these things you have to establish in chapter 1 itself. You cannot establish here. You can establish in chapter 3. You can reintroduce the sampling in chapter 3, but you shouldn't be explaining why rice farmers, why Pakistan in chapter 3. That should be done in chapter 1. This is the major problem of why AI tools are failing in doing this big time, because the structure is all over the place. Chapter 1, don't even know why you're doing chapter 1. Okay. The background is talking about something else, problem statement talking about something else, the citation is becoming fake. And then you go to chapter 2, there is a huge disconnection. They always say, you have to prompt it carefully. I have done all the prompting in the world, okay? Funnel prompting, persona prompting, all prompting. This is still a major catastrophic problem because there is something called hallucination. Okay, the disconnection of AI from the reality. Okay, disconnection of AI from the actual fact and reality. So when there's hallucination present, the flow will start mixing up information. Okay, it's like imagine you on drugs, you are hallucinating, you don't even know which one should come first. That is what is happening at the moment. Okay, and been happening for quite some time now. All right. So that's why, as a student like yourself, ladies and gentlemen, you guys need to understand what's supposed to be where. Then you can use a tool. So always remember, you guys must know better and understand better and have better knowledge than the tools that you're going to use. Otherwise, the tools will be ruling you. Always remember this. Okay, so this is why there is a deficit of explaining this in chapter 2. No need, because you already explained in chapter 1 already. There will be dust. There will be a sprinkle of these two words in this literature part. There will be, but there won't be a segment for them. Okay, in reality shouldn't be, because then you are repeating, you are recycling. Okay, then it will really irritate your readers. Okay, then instead of getting minor, you'll get major, or instead of major, you get revival. Okay, so don't do that. All right, so okay, so that is farm performance. Okay, once all this 1, 2, 3 settled, once the dust settles, then you go for your literature limitation. Okay, so here comes okay, one more important thing. If you realize from all of this, there is no theory. Why there is no theory? Because all the theories are established between 2.3 and 2.5. All the underlying theories are already explained, okay, in this. At the background, it's already explained already, okay? Then once all of these are done, then only you go into limitation to establish your research gap very, very clearly. Be very clear what you exactly intend to do. Then, based on the research gap, you propose your conceptual framework. All right. Then here you see UTAUT studies based on UTAUT. So whatever theory they discussed here, they are rejuvenating the theory here so that there is a connection to the conceptual framework. This is another major problem that I observe. A lot of proposal that fails their proposal defense or get major correction because the examiners cannot understand why you have these variables, why these IVs, why this mediator, why these dimensions, and why this theory. There is no clear explanation on that. It's all hallucination, all wishy-washy explanation from AI. It's just copy and pasted, all right? So when it goes through that, very difficult for examiners to reconnect, even for me to reconnect. I've read very, very complex chapter 2s before, very, very complex. After I finish reading, I've read chapter 2 of up to 200 pages before. Okay, I'll show you example later. 212 pages of chapter 2 only, eh? Okay, because when you prompt, easy to get content, what you just copy and paste only. But 212 pages of chapter 2 alone, all right, I've seen. I cannot understand until the end why they're doing the research. I cannot understand. Sincerely speaking, I cannot understand. All right, so this is where when the students are not in, the students don't meet the reality, okay, don't meet the actual logical connection. So this is where you need to have something called gap tuning. Gap tuning means your theory, what is the gap of your theory and how the conceptual framework is going to address that gap. Okay, how you're going to twist that conceptual framework to address the gap of your theory. That is what is done here. Okay, your actual contribution. That's why you have a specific segment on UTA, UT, and so on. Okay, then the remaining part are all hypotheses. Okay, everything related to the proposed solution and so on. Okay, so the remaining is just that lah. Okay, now before we go into, so far clear, everyone can follow? Any questions so far? Can type out if you have any questions. If no questions, then okay. All are clear so far. Okay, very good. All right, so now next part is the length. Okay, the length. So can you guys tell me what is the length of Dr. Naeem's chapter 2? This is chapter 2, not proposal. This is the full length chapter 2. Okay, what is the length of this chapter 2? Is this solely or can be used? Yeah, yeah. You should master's PhD should follow this structure. This is how it should be written. Bachelors, forget them. Okay, bachelor students, yeah, that's end of the game already. All right. So there's nothing much we can do there. So why I say so? Why I say end of the game already? Because we have hired a lot of bachelor students. Okay, trying to work and trying to see how they think. They completely cannot think. All they do is prompting only. The brain function is not there anymore for the past 2 to 3 years. So we can see that nothing much can be done. All right. So total pages, how many here? Tell me. Dr. Naeem's chapter 2 total pages. Because 76 here. Come on, guys, do the math. Tell me. 72. Okay. All right. So it's 70 plus, 70 plus, just to be safe side. 70 plus. Okay. So even for thesis level chapter 2, this thesis level chapter 2, length is only 70 pages, around 70 pages, 70 plus and so on. 80 is still okay. Proposal, around 40 pages would do. Okay, remember this number. Remember this number. Proposal, chapter 2, 40 pages is enough. Chapter 1, around 20 pages. Chapter 3 is around 15, 20 pages. Chapter 2, around 40 pages. Enough. Okay, enough. So, that is the standard length required. Okay, now let's get to the topic of the day. What do examiners look for? So now you understand chapter 2 very clearly already from the positive part of it. Now let's look at what you shouldn't do, right? So after the emergence of AI, the failure rate increased in both defense and Viva from 5% to around 35%. Max is 35% UPM. Okay. Max is 35%. The rest of the universities got around 25, 28, 30. But it's actually quite a staggering increase because the staggering increase equivalent to about 500%. That means from 1,000 students last time, only 50 students will fail. But from 1,000 students now, 250 to 350 students are failing now. And they're only predicting the numbers going to get worst. So they are expecting to about 50% failure rate. They don't want to get there. Okay. That means out of 1,000, they're looking at 450 to 500 students failing. They don't want to get there. All right. This is estimation from grad schools. Why? Okay. Why the scenario? Because this is one of the prime examples I can show you. Okay, what is wrong with this? What is wrong with this whole proposal? This is a PhD proposal on high performance work systems, HPWS, exploring dual outcomes and contextual moderators through a contingency perspective. Until now, I cannot understand what is dual outcome and contextual moderators. I cannot understand until now. All right. Contingency perspective, I can understand lah. Okay, this one is okay. This one is okay, but these two, I don't know until now what it means. Okay, but it's just prompt, paste. That's it. So what was used here? It was GPT, DeepSeek, and then if I'm not mistaken, Site AI. I think Site AI. Okay, these three elements were used. So this is what the student told me lah. Okay, based on the feedback. So this is the initial part of the chapter 2. So the overall summary, I'm only talking about chapter 2, only chapter 2. I don't want to go to chapter 1 and 3. Maybe next year we can look at those other chapters, all right? But this year we only look at chapter 2. Summary of the examiner's comments, okay? This one is a redefense. He has to redo the whole chapter 1 to 3 again, redefense the whole thing. Overall length was the biggest factor. Okay, I'll show you all the evidence later. Overall length was the biggest factor. Totally wrong systematic review selection process. Wrong reporting, ABS reporting instead of Scopus. Definitions were reported. There is not a book. Overall structure has no connection to the title. Title goes north, chapter 2 goes south. Research gap totally faked. And where is the conceptual framework? So these are the main issues. Okay. Now, first and foremost, okay, the entire chapter 2, all right, the entire chapter 2 was 219, not 212, 219 pages. Chapter 2 alone, this is only chapter 2. Chapter 2 to have 219 pages for proposal level you would be rewriting and rewriting and rewriting and including information that will be completely useless. Completely don't even require, because chapter 2 is very simple. You already mentioned your problem statement. Your chapter 2 is just a blowout, a connector to your problem statement. That means chapter 2 should elaborate whatever problem and solution you are trying to do. So you don't need 200 pages just to elaborate and explain what you're going to do. Okay, this thesis, if it was not stopped, it was poised to reach around 500-600 pages. Quantitative only, 500-600 pages. Quantitative thesis to reach 500-600 pages, it'll be sounding as the most worst thesis in the world. Qualitative maybe can lah, okay? Even that also I don't think so. Mixed method normally may reach 400 plus, 500 plus, and so on. But quantitative alone reaching 500-600, it's impossible, all right? So, absurd to have 219 pages of literature review. It's only a proposal. Max 30 to 40 pages would do. Enough, right? After completing discussion chapter, that means chapter 5, after completing your chapter 5, then you can come back to chapter 2 and expand it to around 80 pages, because that's when you'll do the tuning. You look at the discussion, you'll go back to chapter 2, you'll tune your chapter 2. You'll add later citation, you'll expand more, you'll say, oh, these are the findings, I should talk about this also. So certain parts, you'll at the last minute, you'll add into chapter 2 and chapter 1. That's normal. That's very, very normal, right? Why such length is useless? What is wrong? Why such length is useless? Because you will be writing unnecessarily, diluting the actual content, and annoy readers with repetitive and unrelated information. Okay? Imagine watching a film that is yapping the same thing for 4 hours. Okay, imagine watching Harry Potter for 4 hours, the film flying broom, flying broom, flying broom, flying broom only for the remaining 4 hours. There is no any context to it. That's how your examiners felt reading this particular proposal. Literature is to support your problem statement. You're not writing a book. So first problem, length. Second issue, Prisma chart. This chapter 2 was using SLR. Okay, systematic review based. However, only Scopus was used, which is a very, very big problem. Very, very big mistakes. Very, very big mistake. Scopus alone would never be sufficient, but that info won't be understood by AI. AI will never understand that, okay? See, AI is a very, very good assistant, but the problem is, it's not the mistake of AI, it's just how we are using it wrongly, for the wrong purpose. Okay, AI until now don't have the ability to understand context. Okay, as of ChatGPT 5, with the thinking model also, it cannot understand context, and it don't have the ability to reason. Okay, if you cannot understand the meaning of something and you cannot have the ability to reason, example, I am hungry. I understand when I say I am hungry. And there is a reason I'm getting hungry, because my stomach is empty. Okay, these things the fella cannot understand. When you tell the fella I am hungry, the fella just look for information. Okay, the hungry, 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 hungry. Okay, there are about 500 billion data that says hungry. I just take from here, aggregated from here, I vomit out the information. So it's not new. The fella just recycles whatever information is here. Okay, it's like a baby blabbering all the time. So it doesn't have the, if we go here, if the moment some of the students ask me, then when the AI will reach this, if the fella can understand context, the fella can understand reason, that is called AGI. Okay, it's no more AI, it's AGI. Remember this term, artificial general intelligence. The moment our world reaches AGI, we all will be out of jobs already. Everyone in universities who don't need lecturers anymore. Okay, everything AI will do. Robots will come into the class and start teaching, all right? And for that, the fellow needs to understand context and reasoning. And this process is about, I would say, we are 3 to 5 years roughly away from it, from what Sam Altman said lah. Okay, so that is the actual thing. So understand, whatever you are doing with AI, the fellow don't understand context, don't understand reason. If you understand that, then you'll always use it very carefully. Like me, I use it very, very cautiously. Okay. The fellow don't understand the SLR, you will need minimum 2 databases. Okay. The fellow only gave Scopus because the student prompt Scopus, because the student also didn't know that, unfortunately. The student also didn't know that they will need at least couple of databases, minimum two, but actually couple of databases. Okay, you need Scopus, Web of Science, Science Direct, IEEE, Emerald, Google Scholar. Some people still use Google Scholar, all these things. Okay, that's the first problem. Okay, next thing, two keywords only are very limited. So therefore only use HPWS, AMO. Okay, AMO is a theory, only two keywords, not enough. Not enough at all. You need more than two. Okay, so not enough at all. Then, if you look at here, from 6,041, suddenly it became 625. Total 641 to 600. These were comments from the examiners. Total 641 to 625. How? That is what happens when we just copy and paste from AI. Okay, two keywords only very limited, and abstract screening missing. Because abstract screening is missing, we don't know how 6,041 became 625 because all we do is prompt paste. Prompt paste. That's it. Okay. So that is the problem when we don't understand this one step, okay, which basically killed the whole chapter. We don't know how from there we got here. Okay. So out of nowhere, okay, this is another surprising part, okay. So we are talking about Scopus here, but out of nowhere, one of the chart in the proposal talks about ABS ranking. ABS is another database, another body for researchers, okay, which is totally different from Scopus. You can only use ABS ranking if you have ABS database here reflected, okay, used as a source information. Other than that, you cannot use it because why? Scopus already got its ranking. Okay, what is Scopus ranking? Can anyone tell me? How do Scopus rank its journals? Anyone have the knowledge here? How Scopus ranks its journals? Q1 to Q4, Q1 to 3, 4. Anyone else can tell me? There's one more thing missing. W is Q1 to Q4, and there's one more metric. No, impact factor is Web of Science, not Scopus. It's two different things. But good try though. Okay, good try. Nowadays, most students don't know this. They don't know Scopus metrics. They don't know Web of Science metrics because all they do is they go and prompt. You need to know this basic understanding, not H-index. H-index is a citation score. H-index will be taken into account of how to evaluate what Saleh said, site score. Very good. Thank you, Saleh. And Q1 to Q4. These two are the metrics, all right? For Scopus. So you got Q1 to Q4, and then you got site score. Okay, this is Scopus. Web of Science, we have Q1 to Q4, and then impact factor. All right, impact factor is a trademark of Web of Science. Only Web of Science Clarivates can use it. Site score, only Elsevier Scopus can use it. No one else can use. Okay, but if you look at this, ABS ranking is 3, 4, 4-star. Totally different. Okay, we don't have 4-star. So this cannot be used to interpret the outcome of Scopus journals. You cannot, because this is something and this is something else. Then how they did? how how do you think that the student got this ABS ranking? Anyone can guess? Because Scopus is something else. Imagine you're talking about a car, suddenly a bike is coming out. How is it possible? How do you think the student managed to get ABS ranking and then, but the actual Prisma is Scopus? This is what we call, for those who are very new to research, okay, very, very new. I know a lot of students, this one also I get from other classes, a lot of students are being pushed to use AI. They go a lot of workshop, they go a lot of training, they are being, brainwashed because these trainers charge a lot of money and so on. But they don't analyze the outcome. They don't go down to the bottom to see what is actually happening, right? They don't see, because once they train, they go. Even some supervisors also say, I know. Okay, I talk to a lot of supervisors as well. But once supervisors attend my class, they will change their perception, lah. All right. So end of the day, you guys need to understand, it's you who going to stand in that defense committee. It's you who going to stand in that Viva examination. That time, your supervisor or the people who train you to use AI is not going to be there. You cannot tell your examiners, like, trainer asked me to use AI, My supervisor asked me to use AI. You cannot say. End of the day, you are responsible for every single word, every single sentence that you put into your thesis. You alone will be responsible to answer. Okay, remember that very carefully. So, when you have ABS ranking like this is what we call hallucination. Thank you, Ms. Atifa. Okay, ABS ranking, okay, is something else. It's UK metric. Okay, Scopus is international metric. By hallucination lah, when you hallucinate, you say, okay, give me what do you call that? Publication metric for me, bibliographic metric for me to put into my chapter. Okay, then the fellow give lah, nah, take and go. The fellow don't even know there's no connection between the fellow just go back and dig all the data the fellow have and then vomit out. That's it. Okay. Next, that is what happened. Out of nowhere, ABS introduced. Okay, this is the next part. This is the one of the significant part. Okay, that I thought one day it will happen, but I did not know that it will happen to this level. Okay, all right. So, very unexpected thing that many students don't know. Many students don't realize actually. Not only students, many supervisors don't realize, all right? So we got 2002 to 2025 here. Okay, these are the range of time that a paper was downloaded, all right? A paper was downloaded and, no, a paper was published in this area, HPWS AMO, okay, this area. This is more HPWS like HPWS related, not AMO. This is more HPWS related. And this is the number of papers published. Okay, I can tell you 100%, one paper, I don't know what is the symbol here, but two paper, one paper, 15563. These are all too little. There will be actually more papers than this because HPWS is HR topic. You'll get a lot of papers, okay, but that's okay lah. Okay, that's a different topic. That's a different story. But if you realize here, it starts at 2002. Here, the search period is 1995. So, what happened to the papers from 1995 to 2001? What happened? Who can tell me what happened for the papers from 1995 to 2001? These are mind-boggling findings. Anyone can guess what happened? I think Naja knows the answer, but Naja don't say. They are not the archives anymore. Okay. They are not archives anymore. Okay. Anyone else? It's okay. It's okay if you don't know. Just tell. Just guess. Or if you don't know, you can say don't know lah. That's also fine. Okay. You have the right to answer what you want to answer. Anyone else can tell me any idea why it's missing totally? No OCR PDF. Okay. Very good technical point actually. Maybe researchers avoid that part. The paper is irrelevant before AI is not recorded. If you go to database, you can actually find research papers from 1940s until now. On Google Scholar, you can find. Okay. I think even 1930s papers you can find. Okay. So it's not, although OCR PDF is definitely a valid term, but it's not the problem here. Okay. It's not the problem here. The problem here is, okay, something that most supervisors even don't realize. Okay, this one I only start why I know these things because I see a lot of failures. My field of business, I tend to see a lot of failures. So when I look at failures, I start investigating. I ask myself why this person failed. Okay, so then I'll go through, I'll dig in why, what's the mistake and so on. So you got open access journal. Okay, then you got hybrid. Now no more 100% paywall. We call it hybrid. Okay, that means you can choose to become open access or you can choose to become closed access. Okay, right? So example journals like let's take Elsevier. Okay, this is sorry. Let me close that. Journal of Information Management. Okay, example. So we go into this impact factor 27, which is fabulous, number one in the world. This journal. Okay, information management. This journal is number one. Elsevier Journal, Science Direct, 54.9 side score. top of the class lah, top of the class. Okay. So from here, if you look at publish, where is the open access options? Okay, open access option. You can publish for free in this journal. You can publish your paper is to that level. Okay. Then you can publish in this paper. But you can see here, if for you to become, you can make your paper open access. The article processing charges is USD 3990. Okay, you have to pay to become open access. MDPI will still consider very cheap compared to this. When it's paywall journal, that means it's free journal. For you to make it open access, forcefully to make it open access, you have to pay extensively high. How many of you here are willing to pay 3990 USD to make to make your paper open access if you get to accept a paper here? You can choose to make it open access. How many of you willing to pay? 3990 for those who are a bit vague in terms of currency exchange. 3990 is 16,700 ringgit. How many of you willing to pay 16,000 ringgit for a paper to make it open access so that everyone in the world can read, AI can read, and AI can absorb your knowledge? It's more than what I have now. Come on, tell me who's willing? Who else? Rehab don't want, Ziad don't want. Anyone else in this entire 160 plus students now? Anyone will pay? I definitely won't pay. I will ask the journal to go and screw itself. I'm not going to pay. If it's free, who cares? Okay? Even if I was rich, I won't pay. Okay? If it's help your future, see, when it comes to Elsevier paper, Taylor Francis, Wiley, Elsevier, and all these papers, even if it's not open access, people will come look for your paper. Okay, people come look for your paper. They will try one way or another to find your paper because they know your paper has something very, very important because of the impact factor and side score. So unless your grant allows, okay, your grant or your future claim and so on, you can have the full money to pay, then it's worth. Okay, at least not coming out of your pocket, all right? But it's coming out of your pocket. I mean, if it's too rich, you want to spend, definitely. But at the moment, no one said yes. Okay, no one said yes, except Ziad. They say he would lah if he has the money, which is fantastic now, right? That takes a very big heart. Okay, that takes a very big heart. So that is the answer why you cannot find papers. All right, that's why the paper count here very less. Okay, if you go to HPWS, if I put in 2023, okay, 2023 alone, if I go to Google Scholar, if I go to Google Scholar, simple example I show you guys. Google Scholar, HPWS, custom range 2023 to 2023, search 962 results. Okay, so that is, if you look at the relevancy to this topic, there will be a lot of it. But total 962. But how many written here? 12 only. Why? Because most of the papers are sitting here. The fella cannot access. Any AI tools also. The fella cannot access. Consensus, Elicit, ChatGPT, Site AI, SciSpace, Perplexity, Jenny AI, you guys can keep going lah. Answer this, whatever. They can only read the abstract of these hybrid journals. Abstract alone will not be enough to train them to understand that when you prompt, they show this is the paper. Cannot, because they don't have the full content. Abstract is only like not even 1% of the full paper. That is the major problem. For those who are doing literature search only in AI, this is the problem that you're facing. You are not reading too many papers. Your research is very limited. So when your examiners come and examine you, all right, okay, yeah, definitely can. You can contact, I've done it before. Definitely can, Zian. Go ahead, okay? So when examiners comes and tells, okay, this topic, why you never read this paper? Okay, why you never read this paper? That's when you cannot answer, okay, because they will do Google Scholar search. They will, all right? When they find papers that are not in your reference list or things that you never cite, if they pick up your bedtime, if they pick up, you cannot answer because all your literature was done in AI. This is the major problem. That's why the papers before from 2000 never exists because most of the papers or all the papers were not open access. Those days, open access very little, mostly not open access. Okay, so that is the whole problem. You see, all of these are not open access, but exist. Paper all exist. 2000, 1997, 1998, 1999, all exists, but it's not there. That's the problem. Okay, this is the major catastrophical problem that most students don't understand. Okay, so therefore, this is the right process to follow and do your systematic review. This is my own diagram, my own guide. This is how we guide students. We coach students when they write their systematic review paper for Scopus Web of Science. That is why till today, our success rate to get publication acceptance is still top notch. Okay, top notch. There is never that a paper we cannot get accepted. Never. Right? So because we follow this my own formula. Okay, this one you can download from Telegram group lah. I'm not going to go through this today. All right, but part of it here you can see I've already written abstract screening first, then only full text screening. Okay, minimum must have Scopus Web of Science. See, I've already stated here. Already stated already. Okay. And Scopus Web of Science, you cannot use AI because they don't have access. So most of it will be lies, it will be hallucination. For Web of Science Scopus, you must go to Web of Science Scopus database to do the search. Must do. Okay. I hope that is clear. This one will go through the next class. Just stay tuned. When classes in other universities takes place, I will share with you guys in the group. So make sure that you guys join the WhatsApp group. How many of you here not in the WhatsApp group? IIUM WhatsApp group. How many of you not there? Anyone not in IIUM WhatsApp group? Okay, we have students who never joined the WhatsApp group. Unbelievable. Okay. All right. So this is the link to our very own IIUM WhatsApp group. Okay. So you guys all can come and join. Feel free. You can also share it with your friends. Whoever is in IIUM, ask them to come and join also. All right. So now coming to case study 1.4 from the same proposal. We'll try to finish this fast. Summary of key HPWS definitions and contextual adaptations. Right. This is utter crap. You don't need this. This is not even required. Okay. But since the student already done it, never mind lah. This definition like you put in textbook. You don't need that here. Or even if you want to put, you can put in chapter 1, but not in chapter 2. But nonetheless, okay, that's a different story. The overall study as written by AI focuses on HPWS and AMO theory. Okay, ability, motivation, opportunity. That's AMO, right? Which was defined in Applebaum 2000. See, Applebaum 2000 is the first one to define HPWS and AMO together. This is the base of this study. Okay, this is the base of this study. So let me ask you all a question. This was given by AI, all right? If in this book, examiner finds out that this book doesn't really talk about HPWS and AMO, okay, doesn't really talk about it, there is no mentioning about AMO, what do you think will happen to the research? This is the base, this is the top keyword, this is the AMO theory. This was what used in systematic review. And as per definition, the whole study came together, the problem statement, from this particular book. This book is what established HPWS and AMO. All right, this is the main reason. What do you think will happen to the study if both of these keywords doesn't coexist, doesn't even exist together in one single context in this book? How severe would that be? Anyone can tell me what do you guys think? Okay, because that is the reality, right? That is the reality. And the examiners actually went through, right? So this is the book, because the moment they see book, all right, that is governing the entire study together, they already know something is wrong. A book shouldn't govern the entire study. That means the idea is very, very old. Okay, it's not new. Okay, books are quite old. Okay, that means they already research, they publish. Journals, after that, they'll combine that into a book, right? So it takes time. Normally, they look for Web of Science, Scopus, high-impact journals to come up with this kind of, ideation. right? That's the normal expectation, rule of thumb, I would say. So when we search for AMO in this book, Manufacturing Advantage, Why High Performance Was a Payoff, there is no single result, okay, in this book related to AMO. Nothing, okay. So this is the core of the study given by AI, yeah. So now AI got two types of problem. Last time the flag cannot find the citation, right? But now we are happy that some of the citation actually exists. Okay, sometimes the DOI is wrong, sometimes the title might not be fully functioned, maybe the year lari a bit ready, but sometimes it's purely there, it's 100% there. But the problem now is when you open that content, the literature, if you guys don't believe me, go back and read whatever AI generated literature for you guys. Open the paper, read and check the statement given. See whether it's tally or not. You can find the information there or not. All right. Just yesterday, I reviewed a paper that I'm co-authoring. Okay, we're planning to submit to Web of Science. Okay, just yesterday. Let me find the paper. Where is the paper? Here you go. Okay, I cannot show the topic because it's unpublished, but I'll show you simple example. Okay. Okay, this is a simple example. All right, systematic review paper that I'm co-authoring with this associate professor. But these are certain parts his student supposed to write the student fully used AI, generate and paste only. All right. This particular statement, Boyd 2021, found that warming waters in certain temperate zones can boost phytoplankton growth, which forms the base of marine food webs. Okay. So I wrote here, I tried reading the paper. However, justification of the paper doesn't really align to this statement. Please kindly explain. It doesn't. From the moment I read this, I know already this is all AI generated when it's already not there. Then the next statement of Chung, okay, which is the next statement, then I stopped reading the paper already after that. Okay. The next statement, which is this, using this paper, all right. The DOI is totally wrong, and the title of the paper is not tally with the actual paper. The paper title here, this title, 2020 Building Confidence Projection, blah, 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 doesn't really exist. This is ChatGPT 5, she used, doesn't really exist, all right? Then I go and search, there is a paper in 2016, okay? This is the actual paper. Building Confidence in Projections of the Responses of Living Marine Resources. This one is impacts of climate change. This one is living marine resources. The rest are same, but this one is living marine resources to climate change, right? Published in ICES Journal of Marine Science. Same author, okay? Not Global Ecology and Biogeography. No, it's not there. Open the paper. Nothing that Cheong said. Okay, so Cheong said here, climate change causing species to expand new habitats, warmer waters, allow tropical fish, by local biodiversity, creating new ecological niches. Nothing of this is said in the paper. Nothing. So I just close the paper. I say I'm not going to read any further. Ask the student to redo. Cannot continue because I cannot spoil my name like this. Okay, we all cannot spoil our name like this because whatever you're going to do in your PhD is going to get published and people will go through like this because they will try to go to the reference, try to find the reference. When they try to read it, they cannot find. Not everyone is going to prom and paste because some of them will suffer because of that. Okay, so you guys have to be very, very careful lah, what you guys do. Okay, same scenario happened here, which basically desecrated the whole research, just collapsed, poof, finish. All right. So this is another part that I also want to highlight. Look at the title, High Performance Work Systems Exploring Dual Outcomes, Contextual Moderators Through a Contingency Perspectives. Look at all this. Remember Naeem's topic, how it's connected. Look at this. After systematic review, after the definition, the book definition, all those things, then comes to 2.4. 2.4, HPWS innovation. You can see anything there? HPWS behavior. Can see anything similar there? Except HPWS lah. HPWS individual outcome. Can see anything here? Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Right? The topic of the proposal, the literature review, and the overall study have no connection whatsoever. No connection whatsoever. Most of the students cannot explain what AI gave them because they cannot put the logical connection together to build the actual problem narrative. If this is what AI gives, how are you going to build? Even I pity the students. They don't know what to do. How to come up with the logic to explain. why this one came from this title. There is no connectivity, right? So even if defense passed, okay, there is one case in UPSI where defense passed, 100% AI generated, okay, from UPSI. But the comments raised by examiners passed with major correction lah. The comments raised by examiners cannot be addressed. Okay, the student tried to address, cannot be addressed due to either fake information or totally disconnected research. Okay, because, okay, AI is very good in giving literature summary, but it doesn't do critical literature review, because critical review, you need reasoning ability and contextual ability. Both the fellow don't have. Okay. So all of your literature will sound just as a summary. You won't have your voice, won't have your opinion. There won't be opinion. All right. So examiners want more opinion. All right. They want more critical statement. So when they start forming those, what do you call that? Comments, when the only thing you can do is you have to open the papers to read lah. But when the student open the paper and read, none of the information existed. Okay, some of papers existed. This is the video I made. Okay, so if you want to go and watch what happened really, the whole story, go and watch this video. Okay, so I copy the link for you guys. Go and have a look. You guys will be surprised. Okay, so that is what happening right now lah. Okay, cannot even answer the comments. All right. So finally, this is the last part of this failure. Research gap, disaster of the disasters. Okay. So this is the research gap. Let me zoom in. Despite notable progress, all right, the literature reveals several fundamental blind spots. First, while HPWS are widely acknowledged as enablers of innovation, research has barely engaged with the disruptive potential of digital technologies and artificial intelligence in reshaping HR. The absence of AI-based workforce analytics, predictive modeling, or AI-enabled training interventions from HPWS framework is not a minor omission, but a serious limitation. Okay? All of these WSA never investigated. Okay? AI in training development done already in this book, all from this book. Okay? Qureshi, same author, all the part done already. AI training done already. Next one, HR analytics, workforce analytics, the same term, interchangeable. HR analytics, workforce analytics done already. I search for workforce analytics, the flow memang show HR analytics. The flow also know. Google also knows. Okay, so Qureshi again, published already. Predictive modeling, see, workforce analytics, predictive modeling, AI-enabled training, all done already. Okay, so do you guys think this is still novel? Can this be reused again and again for the very same context? Possible or not? Can you do a PhD with this? Is this really a research gap? Anyone else? The problem is most students, from what I realize, I'm not blaming everyone, most students, they don't do their own deep search. Okay. You have to cite for research gap, depends on how you're writing the gap. Okay. Normally you will have the literature part done, then you will state your gap. So you don't need to cite because that is the gap that you are stating, right? So you write the literature and then you cite the gap. Okay. Same thing, literature and then the gap. But this one got no citation, anything whatsoever. But simple Google Scholar search, you can find out already where it's coming from. Simple search only. AI cannot give you new idea. Cannot. All right. Suka tak suka, cannot. Because it cannot understand context. What it does is it goes back to the, is applied across all AI tools. Because all AI tools in this world so far as of now is using transformer network, which is based on artificial neural networks. Okay. Transformer network means it's like a data, like a portal of data all connected to each other. Once you go and put your token in, your token is your prompt, your token in, the flow will take the token. Imagine you have for someone, take the token, the flow go and look for matching information. HPWS, okay, this. Next thing is HPWS, then you got blind spots, artificial, okay, AI, HPWS, look for info, okay. This. Push out. Imagine there's workers inside doing it. Okay, put it like that. That's what you get. Okay, the flow doesn't go there and think, okay, The flow doesn't pick up. Okay, you neural, you neural, neural. This is the requirement. Come up with new idea. No such thing. The flow cannot come up with new idea. It's not AGI yet. You go to YouTube, you try watching AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. Okay, so check that out. You will know what is the difference. Okay, so for those here students who actually went and prompt everything, pasted all into your documents, go and check. Okay, go and check. You will believe me once you start checking. Okay, so I hope that is clear. So, take away from failure. Okay, understand what you're doing. Doesn't matter whether you're using AI or not. Doesn't matter. Huh? So I'm not, that means what? I'm not blaming AI. I'm blaming the students. I'm blaming the trainers who teach the students. I'm blaming the supervisors who don't understand AI very well and then just push their students to use AI. Yeah, I've seen many like that. I just run a class for a workshop for UKM lecturers last Friday on publishing. I told them straight. They all were very surprised, but they say what to do. Everything prompting and coming. So we just, when we don't understand, we just say don't understand. We let the student wait only lah, until they can make us understand. Most of them cannot even explain what's going on. Okay. So AI doesn't understand context, so don't expect for new idea. It fakes up information, makes up information. AI is an advanced statistical machine to provide the best next predictable word for an existing word. That means you put in a prompt, the flow take it, the flow will look for matching item. That's it. Matching item means what? It's not novel. The moment the flow matching is not novel, it's not new already. The flow matching what? Matching means there's something done already. All right. AI can convince the world with confident wording of a recycled idea not suitable as a pilot in a PhD. Remember, if you're a pilot in your PhD plane, AI cannot even be the first officer. The flight cannot sit next to you also. The first capability is only a flight assistant. But now students are using the AI as the pilot. The flight just ask space. That's it. Okay, examiners are not coming to read. See, I'm not talking about the ethical part of it. I don't really care. This is between you, your PhD, and your future and your university. Okay, that's for you to decide. Okay, ethics part of it. But I'm talking from the technical part of it. Okay, technical part, examiners are not coming to read how well the AI's English sounds. That's not the intention. They want a real novel idea backed with facts and justification, and a PhD student who can explain each and every nuances. Okay? I hope that is clear. These are some prominent AI related failures. Dr. Shanas, who finally graduated now after we coach him, this one still not moving forward, this student. I think she quit already, okay, because she was so disappointed with AI. Her whole life was AI. Without AI, she cannot live already. So she just quit already, this student. This one already passed defense already after we recoach. This is a different story. This one now data collection already. After we revamp the whole chapter 1 to 3. This one still revamping now, still coaching. Okay, not done yet. And got many more cases. I also publish few more. Okay, which whenever I have time, I'll do video to explain lah. Okay, so these are real ones getting failed. All right. Okay, next thing is thesis templates. I think we have taken significant of time just to explain that. Let's try to speed up on this. So, to graduate on time, thesis must be done in 2.6 years. If you want to graduate on time, must be done 2.6 years, because then you need time to appoint examiner, prepare, go to Viva, make corrections, hard binding, all those things, okay? So, avoid making any mistakes with or without AI that can burn all the progress you made. Okay, so I'm not going to go through this today. Okay, so we'll skip this. There's no enough time for this. I'll share the slides. Okay, but most important thing here, all right. So your chapters 1 to 3, one is done. Okay, here 10 pages proposal in chapters 1 to 3. Using AI or not using AI, I leave that to you guys. Okay, then proofreading. After that, you can immediately start extracting journal papers ready, publication, okay, systematic review paper, scoping review paper, and so on. Why start early? Nowadays, it takes 6 months to 1.5 years to get a paper accepted. I believe you need 2 scopers to graduate, right? So you need that amount of time, okay? Does AI content make a problem for 2018? I will answer you today. Wait for that. All right. So then you can generate more papers here once you finish your data collection, chapters 4 and 5, and then, combine chapters 1 to 5, then you can write more papers. But if you want to wait until you finish your whole thesis, then only you want to write your paper, it's too late. Because nowadays it takes 6 months to, this one old one, now 1.5 years already. Okay, because At least 100 to 180 journals are getting kicked out from Scopus every month. Every month. So they're getting very, very strict this year onwards. Okay. So this won't be enough time because your Viva is here. All right. So better start early with at least 1 or 2 review papers here, right after chapters 1 to 3. Okay. So we normally coach students from the step 1 all the way to step 12, okay, for their PhD master's journey or their publication also, coach or consulting. Now, these are some of the recent papers that got accepted, okay, under our guidance and coaching. We got several review papers from chapters 1 to 3. These students all already settled. Their publication requirement already fulfilled already, okay, by just writing review papers. This is my own paper, this one from last year. Okay, this one from last year. Then empirical papers, if you want lah. Okay. So how long does it take? This is our under our Web of Science Scopus Publication Consultancy Services. Guaranteed Scopus Web of Science. That one we can guarantee. Either one of it, like Scopus or Web of Science or both. Scopus around 6 months to 1.5, 1.8 years. Okay, we just increase because it's really, really difficult nowadays. Web of Science, six months to 2 years plus. Web of Science takes the longest. Okay, I will answer you, Mohi. Okay, I will answer you. Wait a while. Okay. Okay, so these are all the templates that you guys can download from my Telegram group. It's already there. Chapters 1 to 5. All right. So again, this is the satellite view, okay, of the templates. So these are the things you need to have in a thesis, and this is how you build your story. Okay, so how you build, from example, the topic is on business management, agriculture. Okay, this is also a minor correction thesis, graduated this year. All right. So it's a very new template. Okay, so the topic is on environmental social governance, okay, corporate strategies. From there, you can see from introduction background, you can see the funnel going down. Okay, we further look into ESG disclosure, green innovation, firm performance, problem statement. Okay, then we design the RORQ. These three segments are the most important segments in your whole thesis. If you cannot convince your examiner or your supervisor that you really have a problem within this space, your entire thesis is going to get major correction, 100%. Okay, because they cannot understand already what you're doing. The rest are all just there for further information lah. These are all not so. I normally don't give so much attention here. My attentions are always here. Okay, this must be done very, very well. Then chapter 2, you can see the initial part itself, they connect back to the problem statement. ESG disclosure, green innovation, they connect back. It's always connected. All right. So you start with literature review background, then you got theoretical foundation, and you got the empirical literature review. So all of this in Dr. Naeem's thesis already embedded together. They were doing in the background. Okay. What do you think of ChatGPT 5? I use ChatGPT to help me write, but I think I'm more confused with ChatGPT 5 compared to ChatGPT 4, even with prompts. Yeah, ChatGPT 5, ChatGPT 4 has more hallucination problem. ChatGPT 5 has more structure.
Even as simple as collecting data from questionnaire. But you know that if I didn't do the questionnaire immediately and then I have to wait for the ethical approval that takes like months, for example, and then you know that if without your data, you cannot show any what do you call it? Progress.
Is he asking question to me or is talking there?
And then
that's a class, I think.
Oh, class. Okay, all right. I got shock of my life. Okay, all right. So Google, all the same, Ziad, all the same. Like I told you, any AI tools, all the same. Is Google Gemini better? I'll answer your question now. Okay. We don't have that much of time, but nonetheless, Demis Hassabis, OpenAI. Okay. This is the guy who created Google Gemini. Okay, this guy, he's the brain, the Google DeepMind CEO. Demis Hassabis, CEO of DeepMind, points out the obvious. OpenAI is lying about having PhD level AI. This guy said, whatever you ask Google Gemini, this guy said, this is the guy who actually, this is recent, very recent, after ChatGPT 5 came out. Okay, so during a recent appeal summit, put all in, You can see Hasabi said that current AI doesn't have the reasoning capabilities of great human scientists who can spot some patterns from another subject areas. He also charged that we're vastly overestimating the capabilities of current AIs. This guy who created Google Gemini, yeah? So you often hear our competitors talk about these modern systems that we have today, PhD intelligence. I think that's nonsense. They are not PhD intelligence. They have some capabilities that are PhD level, but they're not in general. They are not in general capable. Okay, so he already blast through the whole notion. You can read this through. Okay, I'll give you the link to everyone. Okay, this is all Sam Altman's work. He's brainwashing everyone. Okay, so fundamentally, there is a mismatch between what these models are trained to do, which is next word prediction. It's just prediction only. You ask this question, the flow go to the database of thing the flow have, the flow predict, okay, this is the next one. Okay, I give it to you. The flow don't think anything new. We are thinking the flow think new. The flow don't think anything new. As opposed to what we are trying to get them to do, which is to produce reasoning. Cannot. The flow don't understand context, don't understand reasoning. Okay, that is the answer for you guys. Okay. How about tools like Grammarly or MS Copilot? Copilot is the same. OpenAI, ChatGPT 5, same. Copilot is a byproduct of OpenAI. That can rewrite or what? That can rewrite or sentence. Is it ethically right? Ethically right or not? I think definitely not right because the flow is writing it for you. But my concern is not ethics now. My concern is outright technically it's not capable. That's it. All right. Telegram link I'll share in a while because I'm rushing through time. What does it do you mean by they write using AI? Like writing the whole yeah, the whole thing. They just prompt and paste only. They don't do anything. Give me literature review, prompt, paste, prompt, paste. That's it. You won't be shocked to see the kind of students that I'm seeing on daily basis. Okay, no critical gaps. And AI cannot give critical gaps. That's another major problem we're doing. The don't have critical thinking. Okay, don't have. Demis Hassabis, the guy who I showed just now, he is Nobel Award winner. Okay, in this area. The fellow himself said no. Okay. Paraphrase is fine. Paraphrase, but just that your 13 AI will be high, will be very, very high. Okay. All right. So coming back to this. Then you have your theoretical foundation, empirical literature review, hypothesis, and so on. So this one I already explained. Chapter 2, no need to worry. Chapter 1, you got many micro templates in my Telegram. You can use it. Okay. All for free. Chapter 2, I already give you the full breakdown just now. Okay. Chapter 3, so this you must have a very good research design, quantitative research design, qualitative, panel data, mixed method, quasi, whatever lah. Okay. Data sources and sample, where is the sampling coming from? Like just now, the Pakistan part and the rice farmers would have been mentioned here, would have come here. Okay. Then you have all the variables and measurement and research model hypothesis testing. Okay. Then chapter 4, this is chapter 5, sorry, chapter 4. Chapter 4. Chapter 4, I have a very, very complete data analysis template. You can check it out here, data analysis. Okay, that is just, like I said, that's just satellite. That is all connecting to all my templates here. You can see here, this is the most comprehensive data analysis template. You can use it, okay? Then finally, chapter 5, interpretation of findings, theoretical implications. This is where, when you are discussing, if you have too much of hallucination from literature review, okay, from AI, you just copy and paste. Doing discussion part will be different. Unless this one also you do AI lah. That means AI, this one also you do AI. That means everything is AI. I can only wish you good luck when you go to Viva lah. Okay, if you get nasty examiners, like the one, I think one of the students got from Oopsie, another case, I think that was last month. He got 3 examiners, 1 internal, 2 external. The internal almost chased him out of the room. Okay, because this guy, chapter 1 to 3, we coach. He got proposal defense with no correction. Okay, we coach, he wrote, went to defense, no correction. Chapter 4 and 5, and the rest, chapter 1 to 5, expansion, everything use AI. Everything use AI. Okay, he, of course, he had no budget last, which is fine. But the problem is he never did on his own. He went to AI, he just prompt and blast everything. All the analysis were wrong. Okay, and so all the expansion in chapter 1 to 3, when we coach, I think it was about 70 pages. Okay, person who got 0 correction, we also coach his 2 papers also published in Taylor Francis. Okay, one cogent, one more I forgot, but both Taylor Francis, both also published. One systematic, one empirical paper. Okay, but the empirical paper after redo lah, he had to redo the whole chapter 4 and 5 lah. Chapter 1 to 3 from 80 pages, he made it to 200 plus pages, so much of expansion. He cannot answer 70 to 80% of the Viva. He cried on the phone to me, cried literally. Okay, so that's the problem lah. Must be very, very careful. Right? Must be very, very careful. For SLR, is the question being formulated simply the general research question, or do we need formulated question, sub-research question? Must be more specific. Scoping review can be a bit general, but for systematic review must be very specific, what you are trying to do. Okay? All right, so this one is all clear. These templates all can be downloaded from my Telegram group. All right, now let's go to ChatGPT 5 reliability test. Okay, reliability test. Let's open this up. I'll show you today how I define that the flow don't understand context. This is ChatGPT 5. For just now, student asked about ChatGPT 5. Happy news for you. This is ChatGPT 5. Okay, premium version. Okay. If you were to work on research related to development and retention of Generation Y employees, this is the topic that I'm interested in, because I'm suffering a lot with Gen Z employees who use AI throughout their whole bachelor's. They come here, they cannot think. The brain doesn't function. Seriously, I'm not kidding. You won't believe how they work. One guy was working. I asked him to go and track down all the Elsevier latest journals. He just prompt only. He prompt my boss is... Okay. My boss is asking this. I saw all the process. My boss is asking this. How do I do this? Okay, from here, what do I do next? Okay, can you tell me in a more easier way? Okay, I don't understand this. Can you summarize it? I don't understand this. Can you please explain this again? I don't understand this. The whole prompting was, I don't understand. And the flow also cannot explain anymore already. ChatGPT also tired already. Okay, that's how their brain function, because the brain cannot work already. Done deal, roasted already. Okay, all right. So coming back to this. If you were to work on a research related to development and retention of Generation Y employees, which latest high-impact literature would you recommend? Okay, mark my word, high-impact latest literature. Okay, high-impact. High-impact means must be Web of Science, because impact factor comes from Web of Science. And if even Scopus also must be at least Q1, Q2, won't be Q3, Q4. All right, the attendance link will be shared later. Just stay until the end. Okay, so then the flag give me this whole breakdown of all literature. I just analyze these two only, these two only. Okay, this is the first journal, SAM Advanced. Remember high impact, Okay, I take this journal. I go to Scopus first. I have to be Web of Science, but I just go Scopus only. Okay, go Scopus. Okay, sources, title, paste, search. Cannot find. Cannot be found. Cannot be found. Okay, then MJL, Web of Science MJL. Okay, Master Journalist. Go to Master Journalist, open up, find, search journals. Also don't have. Okay, SAM Advanced Management Journal don't have. You see? Don't have, because that journal, that bloody journal given by ChatGPT is not even indexed. It's not even indexed. It's not, forget high impact. It's not even indexed in Scopus Web of Science. That is such a major disaster. This is what I tell when the flood don't understand context. All the flood do is just go and dig back information and just worm it out. The flood don't understand what is high impact. Just give only, take and go. All right. So same thing here, PMC. PMC was only indexed in Scopus, not even Web of Science. But high impact. This is not high impact. If not Web of Science, it's not high impact. No way. It's a wrong terminology already. Okay, so these are the things that you guys need to understand first when you do your research. If you don't understand, you ask the fellow to do everything, it's all hallucination. It won't be there. Then the examiners will find out, see, all this not here. How are you going to answer? All right. So next thing, I asked the fellow to do research gap. Okay, so all this literature that will give lah. Okay. Then I say, can you create a research gap based on the papers above? All right. That same PhD student mentioned Gemini is better. Also said there is more useful info in AI when it is subscribed to. That same PhD student. Which same PhD student? I don't understand. Okay, never mind. You can elaborate that later. No worries. Let me finish this first. Okay, so can you create a research gap based on the papers above? All right, so this is the research gap. And this is all the answers given here. Okay, so under examine intersection, contextual moderators, and so on. All right, so coming back to this, we go to here. All right, so this is what this. Okay, I'll come back. I'll answer you. Let me finish this. Okay, under examine intersection, this is the first research gap. This is the second research gap given. Then this is the summary. All right. So, under examine intersection, while universal drivers of retention are well established, their interaction with the unique career stage of Gen Y, often mid-career, balancing growth, family, and flexibility demands, remains underexplored. Current studies either debunk generational stereotypes entirely or focus narrowly on single practices, flexible work, mentoring, and so on. But few test, listen to this very carefully, few test integrated models that combine integrated models that combine developmental support, psychological context, meaningful work specifically for early mid-career millennials. Okay, they say no one have combined this together. You go and open up Google Scholar cross-check, the paper already published already. Okay, meaning of employee loyalty among millennials in the age of gig economy side hustles, meaningful work, developmental support, psychological contracts, all done already in the same paper, all covered. Just published this year only. The fellow pick up this one, the fellow hallucinate, the fellow give out as new research gap. That's what happens. Okay. This, again, to explain, these as variables are already done. All right. For millennials, done. Okay. These are the keywords I used. The problem is we don't search in Google Scholar anymore. So we think everything is new. But this outright in ChatGPT 5, it is the most advanced model in the world. All right. There is no any other model, Gemini to whatever models that you guys can think of, is not as advanced as OpenAI ChatGPT 5. It is not. Okay. That's why when OpenAI, when Sam Altman opened his mouth, the stock market will move. Because this is the most powerful. But this is the most powerful can do. All right. So it's very, very important that you guys actually spend time and look at the information whether true or not. Okay, true or not. Can we got listing of our proposal from AI only topic? Okay, got the answer already. Yeah, so okay, that's clear. All right, very good. So Ziad, I don't understand the same PhD. Are you talking about Demis Hassabis, the same PhD student? Demis Hassabis is not PhD student. He's a Nobel Award winner. All right, so I hope that is clear. In a PhD, you have a general question and sub questions. Do we only perform in a PhD? We have a I see. Okay. I don't know who you're talking about. Okay. Oh, you mean in the class? Yeah. A lot of people says that. Yeah. Okay. But unfortunately, this is the truth lah. Okay, you can go and test it on your own. You can test like this, and then you go and check and see. Okay. In a PhD, we have a general question and sub questions. Do we only perform SL for general questions or SL for each sub questions? Depends on context. Depends on what is your requirement. Okay, you can do both. You can do both, but general sometimes might not be new enough. That means other people would have done already. Okay, must be very careful on how you filter that also. Okay, so summary of ChatGPT 5 and all. Okay, guys, remember, Site AI, Perplexity, Size Space, Consensus, Elicit, Genie AI, Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek, all of these are inferior compared to ChatGPT 5. All of them use transformer network. As a matter of fact, transformer network was created by Google. They published a paper in 2012 2013 on transformer network. They are the one who came up with it, and their Gemini is also architected with transformer network. Everyone uses the same. Okay, all these third-party tools that are not famous like Genie AI, SiteSpace, SciSpace, all these things, the small mini tools, they all use OpenAI as the backend. So all of them have the same contextual problem, hallucination problem, recycling as known as misinformation remains. Okay, only can fully access open access only. Okay. Amirul, I tried prompt for supporting articles for my literature review. Even after cross-checking through Google Scholar and ask ChatGPT to amend the list of references, it still make the same error of inaccurate reference sometimes with the new references. Yes, because like I said, the flag cannot access all the okay, it's like you know what you're doing or not. You are tying the AI's eyes like this, and then you're asking the floor to find because the floor cannot access all the paywall journals. Cannot access all the paywall journals. All right. So the problem now is the floor got very limited information, and we thinking the floor is God. Okay, most students are thinking AI is God. Okay, this is already can do everything for me. So the problem now is you are asking ChatGPT like this. What the floor can answer? Of course, the floor hallucinate. When it's like this, the moment ChatGPT is blind, the floor hallucinate. Hallucination will start creating fake information, like baby blabbering, blah, 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 like that. Okay, that is the problem. You need to understand the floor to the core. All right, what is your opinion with Scopus? Scopus AI uses OpenAI also. But the advantage of the AI model, the brain still comes from OpenAI. But Scopus, what the floor do is, Scopus AI, the floor can connect to the floor's own database of papers, which is good in a way. Okay, but nonetheless, the hallucination will 100% be there. Recycling will be 100% be there. Okay, so can you recommend use of ChatGPT for any help that is just aggregating information? You pull all the information together, but you need to verify. Like what is name here? Amirul said, you still need to go and verify, and you still find a lot of errors when you aggregate. Okay, so that's why a lot of students get disappointed with my class when I tell them the truth. But they don't know the silver lining here. At least they know now. Not 3 years from now, when they have a full thesis, they go for Viva and then they fail. At least I am here telling you the truth. Don't go that way, you'll get screwed. All right. Everyone out there running classes, running workshops. I heard there's one workshop somewhere in Kelantan, Terengganu, and so on, that area, that region. The workshop is 1,000 ringgit. Okay. I think 1 or 2 days workshop. They will teach you everything to use AI only. Okay. One student just failed the Viva. That's how I knew. She came to me and said, I failed, everything failed. I have to redo everything. Okay. She said, how come university is allowing? University say use AI, but use ethically. Then I go to all these classes, they say use like this. I just use Unila. Come back, nothing is usable. Everything rejected. Major correction, reviva. Scrap the whole thing, have to restart back. Okay, so be careful lah. This means, doctor, if AI company able to open their access to paywall journals, the model will be significantly more powerful. Yes, true. I agree. Hallucination will be still there, but the training part will be much better. But they will never open because that's their business. Elsevier worth is $6 billion, 6 or 7 billion. If they open up, they will be bankrupted overnight. Okay, because universities won't pay the money to access their database. Okay, as it is clear, we should not rely on AI to write full article. What kind of assistance AI can be best at providing minimum error research writing? If you are very smart, you will understand as a human. If you're very smart, you will understand that certain things is a waste of time for you to do. Okay, like go find me this, go find me that. So you use personal assistant. That is the only thing ChatGPT is useful for. If you ask me, honestly, I'm telling, I only use that for that. Write cover letter for me, write email for me. That's it. Because I don't care if it's true or not. Okay, idea generation also cannot. Not really. Like I said, the flow just recycle only. Idea generation, you can. The flow can aggregate all the ideas for you. You need to do your snowballing. You need to go and do your homework. Okay, these are the area segments I can get into. Yeah, that is true. Okay, in a way aggregated. From aggregated, you cannot just take that idea and then use it. Okay, you must take that idea, go to Google Scholar, you'll find papers already done that ready. From there, you can snowball. Grammatical check can, but the problem is when you use ChatGPT to do grammatical check, you're uploading all your information to AI. That means you're training. You're training the flow. The flow already know your RO, your RQ, your framework, your theory, everything know already. If I come along, I'm doing your very, very similar to your area. I come and prompt, I'll get your RQ. I'll get your RQ, I'll get your framework, I'll get your theory, I'll get your everything. Okay, so if can, use Grammarly to do your grammatical check, but bottom line, you're turning it in AI issue lah. Okay, that's the only problem there. Okay, all right. So, conclusion, use AI in conjunction with Google Scholar, Web of Science, and Scopus. Understand your content. That's bottom line, right? So, coming to Turnitin, this was a famous question I think many students are asking. Turnitin expands capabilities amid rising threat posed by AI bypasses. That means all the humanizing tools lah, okay? So, very simple. This is August 27 August 2025 update. It came into effect from October 14. Okay, I can tell you that very clearly because I know from October 14, our phone never stopped buzzing for paraphrasing services. Never stop. Okay, there is no more space on my whiteboard already. Okay, cannot see my whiteboard, but yeah, there's no more space here already. Okay, we cannot take any more article for urgent basis. Cannot. There's that much of AI being turning up now. Okay, turning AI already learning. The learning phase done already. They upgraded the algorithm, August 27. They released press statement. The training phase finished. From 14 October, Grammarly, Quillbot, whatever human ChatGPT 5, whatever you have in the world, that sounds AI. And the traceability from the AI, the origination, the flag came from the flag and trace everything. I don't know how, but the flag can do now. Okay. The new bypasser detection capability is integrated seamlessly with Turnitin's overall AI writing detection capabilities. When AI writing is detection enabled, educators can automatically check summation for likely AI-generated content, as well as content that may have been further modified by leading bypasses, without the need for additional integrations or outside tools that could pose data and security risk. Turnitin AI bypass detection enables educators to uphold academic integrity, blah, 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 blah. So this one is a real, I would say, real finish off, okay, for done deal lah, all right? Because we are struggling to paraphrase. We have to paraphrase that the wording cannot be so perfect like bot because we can write like how ChatGPT writing. But when we go to that level, it sounds very AI already. Okay, the flow calculate all the wordings and so on. Very simple. You just go to Turnitin, you type this on only. Turnitin expense capability, blah, blah, blah. You just type this out only. Okay? You can find it in their press release. And we already done a lot of experiments. Undetectable AI failed to beat Turnitin AI. Quillbot. Quillbot is a useless software now. Okay? Grammarly also becoming kind of useless, unfortunately. Stealth Writer, all useless. Totally useless. Vault Writer, all useless. This is a combination of a lot of testing. Today, I'll be releasing another video as well. That is the latest update of the video, Turnitin AI. The only other way, today I'll be releasing a video how to also rewrite yourself. Okay. I already have 2 tutorials ready on my TikTok. So why? Because we cannot afford to take everyone. We got very limited editors. Okay. And we are full like hell. Okay. So most students come urgent because they don't know anything AI can detect. So when they come, they say, they give me 200 pages. They say paraphrase in 2 days. No way lah. Cannot lah. No chance. Okay. Because the AI is hitting 90%, 95%, they cannot submit. Okay. So this is a very good example. Dr. Asan Jalo. Okay. We coach his thesis from University of Wisconsin Whitewater, US. Unfortunately, after we coach, he finished his thesis, everything chapters 1 to 5, use Grammarly to proofread. AI 94%. University never allow. Wisconsin Whitewater in the state of Wisconsin. Never allow. So we had to paraphrase the whole thing again. Okay. He took L4 services, paraphrasing, proofreading, editing, and structuring, and we had to paraphrase the whole thing until we hit 0%. Okay. They don't even allow 20%. For US universities, must be 0%. No AI. Okay, so that is what it is lah. So you can do this on your own. You want to take our services, you can, but need to give us time lah. But other than that, you can do it on your own. You can go to my TikTok. I've given few lessons already. Today I'll be releasing another lesson, how to paraphrase on your own. Okay. The final bit of the class today. This is what and how you prepare for defense or Viva. Okay, this is the kind of questions that you may get in your Viva, having in the current AI age. Okay. Question 1. In few sentences, can you tell us what your study is all about? Very simple, straightforward. What is your motivation for the study? Motivation, easy. Okay. AI similarity is acceptable? Not acceptable. Same like Trinity, not acceptable. I think MMU set 10%, UTM set 20%, all other universities, all they set at 20%. Okay, journals set at 15%. Okay, all journals. Okay, you have to scan and send the report. Then only they will even review the paper. Now, latest ruling. Okay, so question 3, how will this study contribute to the body of knowledge? Question 4, what is a significant study? So all this mostly from your chapter 1. Very easy. All this, as long as you know your thesis, very easy. Then comes the next question. What is the distribution of your reference list? What the distribution must be, I already explained in my class number 2. Go and watch on my YouTube. It's there. I recorded already. Okay. So this is the class, YouTube class. I already explained how you must have the distribution so that you don't get into trouble. Okay. So this is the class. Okay. These two. You can go and watch. This is the link. All right. I share again. You can subscribe also if you want to. Okay, so what is the distribution of your reference list? Must be 80%. Okay, 80% Web of Science Scopus. High impact journals. Maintain that. That's what your examiners will look for. You want to get a swift passing? Have your reference list with this. If you use AI, you know what will happen? You'll have 80% books, predatory journals. Only 10% or 20% you will have Web of Science Scopus if you use AI. This is how they will know how ethically use AI, whether you just prompt and pasted everything, or you actually did research and you did your own Google Scholar search, you went through, use AI to read and so on. That is a different story. But this is what the distribution must be. 80% Web of Science Scopus. Okay. Even if you upload the paper, okay, like what Amirul just now explained, he upload the citation, still give error, right? Same thing. You upload the paper, ask the to read, and I know most of the students don't read. Actually, whatever the flag give you has a lot of mistakes, a lot of hallucination, a lot of errors, a lot of errors. Okay. So, that part your examiners will understand. Okay. With limited references, your examiners understand. You can explain that part. All right. Okay. What is the distribution of reference list done? What limitations do you encounter? This one also you need to understand. If you only prompt and paste, you won't have any limitation. So you won't be able to answer this. Okay. What are your findings? I think very simple. If you understand very clearly, you'll be able to answer. What methods or sampling technique did you employ? Okay, sampling technique. Why you choose this method and how it is better than the existing applied method? This is a problem here. Okay, because normally they'll say, I use quantitative. The next question, why quanti? Why not quali? Why not mixed method? Why this particular sampling size? Why this sampling type? Why this school? Why this government? Why these universities? Why this town? Why this bank? They will ask all these questions. Be prepared. Okay? If you fail your sampling, your whole PhD will go. That's it. Sampling is very important. Make sure you know why you don't tell I generate, ask AI give me the answer. I don't know how your examiners will respond. You can try and see and then you let me know. Okay? Based on your findings, what are your recommendations? Okay? Yeah, AI gives incorrect summary of paper. I agree. That's why I say reading the paper is important. All right, because you need to understand the papers that you read could be the same papers that your examiners read or their students read, so they can easily know if you're lying in the thesis. Okay. Question 12, how can your research study be put into practice? 13, how was the connectivity between the problem statement and the literature chapter established? Okay, if you use AI, you can never understand this because there won't be any connectivity. So connectivity between problem statement and literature chapter established, how was it established? Why you do this literature review according to the problem statement? That's what he's asking, he or she lah. What would you change if you were to conduct the study again? What are your research variables and related measuring instruments? It's not easy to answer, but look at the next question. Explain to us from dimensions to variables how were all derived from literature. This for conceptual framework, but for every other solution, this is how deep they can go. The moment they go this deep, you're already done already because you have no idea. If this framework comes entirely from AI, you will have not clue. No clue how the dimensions and the variables all came together. So be prepared for this, right? Then, what do you plan to do with your research project after graduation? Easy. What are your research questions and why do you need it? What source of data? This one also you need to answer very carefully. Okay, if you ask AI to write the research question, you won't be able to answer this. You won't be able to, right? What source of data was employed for the study? What theories or theoretical framework is a study based on? This is the next killer question. How would you relate your findings to existing theory on the study? The relating part is what very difficult to understand. Why this theory? We don't even know. Half of the students don't know. Okay. So what recommendations do you have for future research? What is the scope of the study? What questions do you have for the committee? Do you have any closing comments? That's it. All 25 questions. These are, I won't say the only questions. These are some of the major frequently asked questions. FAQ. Okay, fact. These are facts. All right, FAQ. Frequently asked questions. All right. These are the free notes I'm going to give all of you. All right. Did you guys learn anything new from today's class? Was the class useful? You guys are almost the end for class number 3 already. Okay. Have you guys learned anything new today? Anything useful today?
Very well.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any word limit for the thesis writing? Depends on the university. Okay, so before we end today, okay, this one also I'll be sending to you guys. Okay, what about use of Mendeley for references? Yeah, that's okay. Mendeley you can use. I use Mendeley. I use EndNote as well. Can be used. That's fine. Okay. So this is what we call inverted expanded literature matrix to build critical review, but we don't have the time to go through this today. Probably in the next class, I'll try to go through lah. Probably in the next class. So if you're still stuck, don't worry. Okay. I'll share all the links in a while. Wait, let me finish. Ending part ready. These are some of our coached PhD students, our coached papers, and our Turnitin AI solutions. These are the 3 major areas that we focus now. All right. Used AI. This is the only guy here used AI. Dr. Shanas, PBS, Putra Business School. Failed 2024 PhD. Took us 1 year, 2 months to coach him back. Finally, he graduated this year. This year finished. Then the rest are all non-AI students. The rest are all non-AI. Only him used AI. Okay. But I can tell you the thesis that he submitted for Viva was entirely new. The old one all was, that's why it took 1 year, 2 months. Okay. And our coach papers, I can tell you nowadays Scopus papers takes 6 months to 1.5 years. Start planning early. All right. This is our coach papers until acceptance lah. Our service that goes until acceptance. And then our Turnitin AI solution. All right. So 100% can get to 0%. No problem. Okay. So this is what we do. PhD proposal consultancy, Scopus Web of Science publication, defense preparation, proposal defense examiner response. It's through these services that we know so many failures. Okay, so many failures. Data analysis interpretation is something that we do. Thesis to journal conversion. Viva preparation. Thesis examiner response. This is after Viva lah. So Shanas, I know him here. This guy here. I know him at this service. And most of the failures I know here. But after my classes, most of the students will come from here. They know that whatever they did with AI, they'll just scrap. They just want to start from scratch because they want the journey to be smooth. Okay, so this is what we do. So with that, how your document must be after proofreading, human proofreading, that is how your document will be after we paraphrase, proofread, edit, and structure a document. This is none other than this publication. Okay, Dr. Hero's SLR paper lah, quite a famous paper. Okay, all right. So, and for those who are writing their thesis, looking for promotional proofreading package or proposal, this is only proofreading, up to 30% off, which include proofreading, translation, formatting services. Okay, and we provide lifetime language warranty. For all the document we proofread, you will have language warranty forever.